Welcome back to the Peach Garden, one and all. I've been making a lot of videos out here recently because this is, after all, my area of meditation, my power spot. This is an extremely special video. I like to think of myself as a man of action. I study very intensely and diligently, but at the same time I practice. I understand the value of putting one's knowledge to the test and taking action via actually practicing the rituals and not just talking about them all the time. I have a major problem with the so-called practitioners who only speak about their magic, but they never show it. On this channel, I create a nice balance of explaining the theory, the history and mythology of my weather magic, then I will always do my very best to show to you the practical application of that knowledge. So you can see, firstly, above all else, does it work? Yes. Then you can see what the weather magic actually looks like whilst it's in operation. It's all about walking the middle path of studying the art and then executing it. I am not an armchair magician, and I never will be. Now, there are exceptions to the rule, of course. In some cases, the magic is invisible. It cannot be seen by outsiders. This is true. But with Taoist weather magic, usually the effects are widespread and they are perceived by all of the five senses. You will see the magic of rainmaking within this video. Just as you have seen my wind procuring rituals on the altar of the 7 stars, you will also see the results here. This is not to brag of my own personal abilities, but to show everyone how powerful the Taoist weather magic system really is. I am asked very often by my viewers, what is your most powerful magical tool? Indeed, I have many, but there is one that surpasses them all. Unlike all of the other objects I have, this one I did not buy. I found it. Let me tell you the story of how I came into possession of this particular item. The year was 2011, and I noticed that I had hit a major spiritual brick wall. I was still practicing magic, but I was starting to lose my enthusiasm for it, mostly due to me repeating the same rituals over and over again and getting more or less the same result each time. I was stuck in a rut and I couldn't overcome this psychic barrier. Things became very predictable and I felt like I had achieved everything I could. I felt like I had reached the ceiling limit of what could be done. And any honest magician will tell you this is a very frustrating feeling. So naturally at the time, I tried harder, I practiced longer, I studied more, and I tried putting more and more energy into my workings, but what happened was I burned out. I pretty much overloaded myself, and as a result, it had a negative effect. It was summertime, and my family were ready to go on a vacation. Of course, I didn't want to go. I just didn't care about anything else at that time, which is a very unhealthy mindset. They talked me into going because I was very reluctant. I wanted to focus more on overcoming these spiritual blockages. But I went, and for the first few days, maybe 4 or 5 days, I wasn't enjoying the vacation. My mind was elsewhere most of the time, thinking and getting anxious over my magic because it was in such a state of complete stagnation. We decided to go to a really nice beach which had a cove area, and I'm just laying on the sand, and all of a sudden I see this bright, fiery, golden looking light on the shore. And I see the waves breaking over this light. I mean, it was blinding, much brighter than the sun, but it seemed really concentrated to one area of the beach. At first I just ignored it, but it was so bright, like a spotlight, I thought I have to see what is causing this. So I ran over and pretty quickly I saw under the water a really bright rock, extremely bright, it was blinding me. So I quickly reached down into the water, picked it up, big heavy rock, and I dried the rock off with a towel and I put it in my rucksack and I ran back as quick as I could because there were a lot of people around and I thought to myself, somebody is going to take this from me because of how stunning it is. As I was running back with the rock, I noticed all of a sudden dark, dramatic clouds started coming in. The temperature suddenly dropped. Rain clouds began to form, all on a summer's day in Spain. Within like 25 seconds, the entire beach was taken over by a tropical storm. Deck chairs were flying around. The beach huts where you buy drinks, they had bits and pieces flying off of them because the wind had picked up tremendously. I looked out to the ocean. and I could see gigantic water spouts forming in the sea. The rain started to come down, thick, dense rain, and everyone on that beach was really pissed, but not me. I was ecstatic. I got what I was looking for, my next big breakthrough. The universe sent me to Spain so that I could obtain this special rock. Now, when I dried off the rock, I unintentionally activated it, and that's why it produced such a severe storm. They had to close down the beach because the palm trees were being ripped out of the ground and the waves were getting really rough. Within the Taoist system, stones like these are known as weather stones of natural magical ability. They do not need any blessing, any consecration, or any programming in order for them to be used for weather magic. Some stones need to be blessed, but these are ready as soon as they are found. The belief is that these natural weather stones have trapped nature deities living inside of them. The trapped spirit is what gives the stone its magical power, and one of the ways you know if a stone is powerful, it has a distinctive glow, beams of bright, clear light. If you want to know more about Taoist stones, check out the video I made on the subject. Now let's get ready to make some rain. The stone has to be kept in a special wooden container, bound with divine fabric. If the stone is not kept like this, it will not stop summoning and calling rain. This is the case with a lot of ultra-powerful weather stones. Some Taoists discover them only to find out that they are too powerful to manage. Some masters even end up burying their stones because they cannot handle the constant storms. I found this out the hard way. Before the stone can be removed from the container, the practitioner must always wash his hands in consecrated water from a nearby river. In this case, the water is from my local river, the River Derwent. The stone is considered to be a heavenly being, and as such deserves the utmost respect and honor. Extreme care is taken when opening the fabric. As soon as the fabric has been opened, the stone will start to activate. It is activated by being exposed to fresh air, sunlight, and warmth, which is why I always keep the stone and its container in the coolest part of the house, away from any windows in the wine cellar. The nature deity within the stone is now awakening. Give it a few moments before you pick up the stone. You can see little drops of rain already starting. Now watch this. After 5 minutes, I pick up the stone, point it to the heavens, and await the rains. I'll just let you enjoy this in peace. The stone even managed to summon a rainbow. You will notice there is no altar here, no flags or banners, no incense or candles, no tools apart from the stone, and no proper ceremonial robes. Those robes are just my robes of leisure. I want you to know that this stone is a 1 in a million. It works so differently than anything else I have ever used. It does not require ritual in order for it to work. Now, I have other weather stones, much smaller ones, but these need to be used in conjunction with many other items, such as the magical hand seals, star stepping, incantation, sword routine, etc. This stone seems to break all of those rules, which is why it is so unique. This isn't something you can buy at the local occult store, nor is it something you can commission or create yourself. It has to be found, and I found it purely by divine luck. Now, I don't use it very often. In fact, years can go by and I won't unwrap it, because the power is a lot to handle. Sure, it brings rain and storms, but I cannot really control the volume of those elements. I can't control the speed of the winds that it brings. I can't say for sure if I will be able to stop the snow from falling, as it can cause freezing blizzards. Sometimes it can be devastating, causing floods and twisters, which obviously isn't beneficial. Sometimes I will unwrap the stone and it might bring winds, other times rain, and on the odd occasion it has caused thunderstorms, so it's very unpredictable. This stone is akin to a huge rocket launcher. There are plenty of other weapons which are much more refined, accurate, and safe, but at the end of the day, if you want pure power and a guarantee of something explosive to happen, you go for the biggest gun. If you want something big to happen with Taoist weather magic, you go for the biggest stone. And I only ever use this stone as a last resort if all of my usual methods are not working. And this is very rare indeed, since my success rate is quite high. So thanks a lot for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll be back soon. Take care.